Hello everyone, I am Lavish Gehlot and today I am presenting a topic of a software engineering and that is user interface design. So let's start. This is the overview of our presentation in which we will be discussing about what is user interface design, types of user interface design process, good interface design, bad interface design, and some example of good and bad user interface designs, and then some golden rules. So first we will discuss about what is user interface design. User interface is the front end application view to which user interact in order to use the software. The software become more popular if its user interface is attractive, simple to use, responsive in short time, clear to understand and consistent on all the interface. And our next topic is types of user interface. There are two types of user interface designs. The first one is command line interface and the second one is graphical user interface. And the first one is the command line interface. Command line interface provide a command prompt where the user type the command and feed to the system. The user need to remember the syntax of the command and its use, which is very difficult. Not everyone can do that. So the solution of this is graphical user interface. In this we will not need to remember all the command. In this graphical user interface provide the simple interactive interface to interact with the system. Graphical user interface can be combination of both hardware and software. Using GUI, user interprets the software. In our day-to-day life, we use graphical user interface in our mobile phones and tablets and also in laptops. These are the some points to remember before designing any UI. The first is designer's roadmap. First create a roadmap what you are gonna build. And the second is know what your user wants. The third is design consistency and the fourth one is heat map. And the next one is user interface design process. The analysis and the design process of a user interface is iterative and can be represented by a spiral model. The analysis and design process of user interface consists of four framework activities. In the first phase there is a user task environmental and analysis, and in the second phase there is a interface design, and on the third phase there is a implementation, and in the fourth and last phase there is a interface validation. It depends on the spiral model. Let's discuss every phase one by one. The first phase of user interface design process is user task environmental analysis and modeling. Initially, the focus is based on the profile of user who will interact with the system, understanding skill and knowledge, type of users, etc. Based on the user profile, users are made into categories. From each categories, requirements are gathered. Based on the requirements, developer understand how to develop the interface. Once all the requirements are gathered, a detailed analysis is conducted. The second phase of user interface design process is interface design. The goal of this phase is to define the set of interface objects and actions controlled mechanism that enable the user to perform desired task. Indicate how this control mechanism affect the system, specify the action sequence of task and subtask, also called a user scenario, indicate the state of the system when the user perform a particular task. Always follow the three golden rules stated by the Theo Mendel. Design issues such as responsive time, command and action structure, error handling, and help facility are considered as the design model is redefined. This place serves as the foundation of the implementation phase, which is our next phase. This is all about the second phase. In the interface construction and implementation phase, the implementation activity begins with the creation of prototype model that enable users scenario to be evaluated. As iterative design process continues, a user interface toolkit that allow the creation of windows, menus, device, interaction, error messages, commands, and many other elements of the interactive environment can be used for the completing the construction of a interface. And the last phase is interface validation. In this phase, focus on testing the interface. The interface should be in such a way that it should be able to perform tasks correctly, and it should be able to handle a variety of tasks. It should achieve all the requirements. It should be easy to use and easy to learn. Users should accept the interface as a useful one in their work. And these are the all the four phases of user interface design processes. So let's discuss about good interface design. A good interface design is user friendly design. This is because it is easy to navigate, easy to use, easy to understand, and interactive and effective. A good design should always be clear and user centric. Features of the good interface designs are: it should be clear, consistent, simple, user control, forgiving, and it also provide feedbacks. And the sum of the examples of good interface designs are elastic scrolling on iOS, Dropbox responsive color system, and Pinterest waterfall effect. The next one is bad interface designs. A bad interface designs is confusing. No one like it. This because it is erroneous, difficult to navigate, sluggish, unresponsive, inconsistent, and misleading. Some example of bad interface designs are: a few example of bad user interface along with the respective situations are as followed: polarize design as well as content. Solution is: make sure the design and content is original. The second one is too many colors and lack of contrast. Solution: choose color for your website wisely. Using too many colors can confuse the user and can affect their interest to view the entire website. The third one is website is static. Make your website dynamically by the Angular, React, this type of technology. And these are the some examples of good and bad user interface designs. We took two examples. In the first example, there is a login page. In On the first image, there is a same colors button, which is not looking good. And in the right side of it, there is a different color palettes buttons, which is looking good. And this is the good user interface design. And in the second image, we also have one bad interface design and one is good interface design. You can see by just changing the color of our elements we can achieve a good user interface design. So why not we took a color which look beautiful in our websites so that we can make a beautiful user interface designs. These are the some golden rules you should keep in mind while preparing a user interface design. The first one is place the user in control. The second is reduce the user's memory load. The third one is make the interface consistent. This is all about the user interface design. Thank you.